stand still.
Good day, my wonderful friends. It's me again, the great. One more great countryman. Remember to like, share and subscribe. Now, I have some more updates about the two young men them. Actually, it's three. One of them was a Venezuelan on the boat. But I have some more update on the situation. Now, like I stated before, this situation that arises, it's a very troubling situation for me. But before I say that, I want everybody to know Countryman was the first vlogger who bust this news. And then now I see everybody talking about it. But I have the real information because my intel is from the inside. Just know that. Now, back to what I was saying. A lot of the fishermen them now is getting scared because of how close to home this airstrike was, or this boat strike was. And it is very concerning. Now, I beg and I plead to the man them, and a lot of people take my plea through 1 year and it goes through the next. But everything I've been saying in the past pertaining to this has come to rise. Now, let me give you some more information. Now, the two men them that I showed, they are not the owner of the boat. They are just first captain. So they are captain, the fat guy and the slim young man, the one with the Heineken picture. Both of them work together, and both of them use that boat and other boat to go to Venezuela for a thing. Now, before I tell you who is the owner of the boat, the captain, he was not on that boat. But one of the biggest thing to me is how dumb and nonchalant these guys are. And according to my intel, I guess it's the money, because these two guys were warned not to go out to sea down to Venezuela. And when I say down to Venezuela, they didn't directly went into Venezuela. They meet at a certain point at sea on the coordinates, and where they met and exchanged the baby powder, that's where the US picked them up. Now, once the US picked them up, the US watched them and followed them by drone and came all the way down the coast to when they were in the Caribbean water, the eastern Caribbean water between St. Vincent and St. Lucia. So the boat, once it got shot, the US described it as a kinetic strike in the Caribbean, and it didn't have an elaborate explanation of where the exact area was. But the exact area was right beside St. Vincent, and these guys were on their way to St. Lucia with two St. Lucians and a Venezuelan, where they met out at sea, and they decide to push it in. Now, what's very interesting is they were warned not to do it because they had done it about 2 weeks ago, or maybe 3 weeks ago, and they had a chase because they knew the drones were watching. or somebody was watching and they got a chase and they were able to escape. And then here they go another 2-3 weeks and they decide to make the run. Now I'm gonna tell you guys who the boat owner is. That's the boat owner name right there. Look at that picture. His name is Acid. He's from Dinnery Valley. And he is also a boat maker who operates in Micoud. I call it Macoud, but it's Micoud. Now he is the one that Nafi and the other young man is working for. Once again, a few people came up and told them not to go. But Acid, being the kind of person he is, pushed the two of them to go. Which, when they do their thing and make their baby powder runs, I'm quite sure they make a lot of money and they're well taken care of. With that said, a lot of people is still upset because him push the man them out, knowing that the US is striking boats, knowing that they barely got away a few weeks ago on a run at a coordinate where they met at sea with a Venezuelan baby powder boat. So a lot of people is kind of upset at this dude. Now with that said, I heard Acid is a very powerful man. Cameron, aka Acid, and you know, he has a lot of influential friends and he have a lot of police associate and people in government and them thing there. There's really nothing bad about his name in terms of doing anything bad in the community like a criminal or buy guns and them thing that he's about his money, but at the same time he's exploiting the young man them. I am not putting out his name to get him in any trouble, but I am doing it as a person who like putting out facts. But I'm also doing it to scare the fuck out of the other set of man them who wants to go out there and think they're smart enough with their liquor island brain over the US and go out there and do stupid things and get strike out of the water near St. Lucia. Now that brings heat to St. Lucia. It stopped the fishermen them now get paranoid. They don't want to go out there. And now it's another whole nother crisis. You understand? And if I was the Prime Minister of St. Lucia, I wouldn't open my mouth about this thing. Leave that. You have nothing to do with that. We have nothing to do with that, and you leave that alone. But in terms of Acid, his decision trigger a whole nother crisis right now. And that's just the reality. So before I go, let me update you now again. Yes, everything is confirmed. 3 men dead, 2 Lucian. Nafi is one of them. You understand? They were told not to go, yet still they violate whoever was telling them, and they went, and that's what happened. Acid are the man who run the operation, and because of this, now enough heat is on St. Lucia, and the fishermen them, their thing is getting slowed down. The Fishery Association president, I heard her talking about it. So yo, this thing can get out of control. And beyond that, this is gonna put St. Lucia on the map for drug smuggling by the US. So listen, them do it, not me. I'm not telling you one more time. I'm keeping my ears to the ground and listen one more time. What's my name? My name is Countryman.